Assalamualaikum and good evening to Madam Aisha Nurhuda and my fellow classmates. So, as a chairperson of this task force, I would like to welcome you to our professional meeting under the Student Innovation Unit. Today, we are here to evaluate the proposed solution addressing the issue of poor work-life balance, specifically the difficulty in separating personal life from job responsibility. Our objective is to critically assess the 5 solutions presented and consider their feasibility and impact and reach a consensus on the most suitable approach for implementation, whether it is a single solution or a strategic combination. To recap, the core issues we are addressing is the erosion of boundaries between work and personal life, which has led to stress, burnout, reduced well-being among students and staff. So, the 5 proposed solutions are the wellness and mental health programs, no work after hours policy, encouraging healthy lifestyle habits, workload management, flexible working arrangement. Each of these solutions targets a different dimension of the problem, from structural reform to behavioral support. So, let's begin by hearing brief insights from each group members on which solution they find most compelling and why. Please keep your point concise so we can ensure everyone has a chance to contribute. Perhaps PUVUNES or ARTHIKESH want to start first? I'm sorry, your microphone is not on.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can Punesh.
Okay, yes. I would like to start. And okay, everyone, let's look at the core issue we were assigned, which is difficulty separating personal life and job responsibilities. We have some very strong options on the table. No work after hours sounds protecting, and workload management sounds logical. But I have analyzed this deeply, and I believe there is only one solution that addresses the root cause of the problem rather than just treating the symptoms. That solution is flexible working arrangements. I want to be clear, I'm not just talking about working from home. I'm talking about a structural shift, flex time, compressed work weeks, and an outcome-based culture. Here is why this is the clear winner over the other options. First, we have to understand psychology. Research shows that stress doesn't just come from working hard. It comes from having low control over your work. The problem with no work after hours policy is that it is too rigid. It assumes everyone works the best between 9 and 5, but that's a 1950s model. Think about a parent who need to pick up their kids at 3 p.m. Under a strict no work after hours policy, they can't log off early and finish their task later at 8 p.m. They are forced to stay at their desk while worrying about their kids. That isn't work-life balance, that's anxiety. Flexible working gives employees autonomy. It allows that parent to build their work around their life rather than squeezing their life around their work. When people control their schedule, they respect their own boundaries better than any policy we could force on them. Second, we need a solution that fits everyone. In organizational behavior, we talk about 2 types of people. First is segmenters, people who want a hard wall between work and home, and the second is integrators, people who like to mix them, maybe answering emails while cooking dinner or doing laundry during a conference call. Here is why the other solutions fail. A no work after hours policy creates a great environment for segmenters, but it actually hurt the integrators. Flexible working is the only solution that supports both. If you want to log off at 5 p.m., fine. If you want to work late so you can go to the gym at noon, also fine. It is the most inclusive solution because it adapts to different life stages, whether you are a Gen Z night owl or a near retirement employee. Finally, I know some of you might prefer workload management. And yes, reducing work is the dream. But in a competitive business environment, we have to be realistic. We cannot always control client demands. Workload management is top-down and often fails when businesses get busy. Flexible working is resilient. It doesn't promise that the work will disappear, but it gives employees the armor to handle high workload sustainably. It shifts the culture from hours set at the desk to results delivered. So to summarize, wellness programs treat the symptom. No work after hours is too rigid. Workload management is often unrealistic. Flexible working arrangement is the only solution that offers autonomy, inclusivity, and sustainable results. It treats employees like adults, and that is why I think it's the best choice. Yes, that's from me. Arti, you can share your opinion.
Thank you, Punis, for the idea. I agree with the earlier point about the flexible working arrangements, like being an effective solution to poor work-life balance. And I would like to expand on why this approach stands out compared to the other solutions presented in the video. Okay, my point. One key strand of flexible working arrangements that is directly addresses the root cause of the problem. Okay, where the wellness program and mental health support are actually important. They mainly help individuals manage stress after it has already occurred. And flexibility, on the other hand, helps prevent burnout by allowing employees to manage their responsibilities in a way that suits their personal needs and energy levels. Additionally, flexible working arrangements help create clearer boundaries between work and personal life. When employees are given the option to adjust their working hours or work remotely, they are better able to rest, spend time with family, and focus on their well-being without feeling guilty or pressured. This actually leads to a better mental focus and productivity during actually working hours. From an organizational perspective, from their perspective, flexibility also strengthens trust and accountability. Employees who feel trusted are more motivated, more engaged, and more likely to perform at their best. Over time, this actually can reduce their burnout and employee turnover. For these reasons, I strongly believe that flexible working arrangements offer a sustainable and long-term solution that actually benefits both employees and organization. That's all from me. You can continue my point.
Thank you, Punish and Ati. Actually, I'm partially agree with your points because flexible working arrangements can enhance productivity and improve our work-life balance. But it may not effective if workloads remain excessive. Without the proper workload control, flexibility may lead to the overworking at home and wellness programs may only provide temporary relief. In my opinion, workload management is the most effective and sustainable solution because it addresses the root cause of the problem, which is excessive and poorly managed work demands. First, it will solve the root cause and not just the symptoms. Unlike the wellness program or lifestyle changes that mainly help individuals cope with the stress, workload management prevents stress from occurring in the first place. When employees are given the realistic deadlines and fair task distribution, they are less likely to feel overwhelmed, and this directly reduces the burnout rather than the only treating its consequences. Second, it improves the productivity and work quality. The workload management improves productivity. When the tasks are prioritized properly, employees can focus on completing the important work efficiently instead of multitasking excessively. This results in higher quality output, fewer mistakes, and better overall performance for the organization. Therefore, I strongly believe that workload management should be prioritized as the main solution. It creates a healthier work environment by protecting employees' well-being while also supporting the organizational productivity. For these reasons, I recommend that workload management be selected as the most suitable solution to address this challenge. That's all from me. Anyone would like to add the
Okay,
points?
right. Thank you, Vienna, for your point. Actually, I agree more on Vienna which is workload management. Because effective workload management, it helps employees maintain a healthy work-life balance by preventing excessive stress and burnout. And this can be achieved by prioritizing tasks, setting realistic deadlines, and also distributing work fairly among team members. And also, when workloads are well managed, employees can also complete their responsibilities efficiently while still having time for personal activities and also supporting both productivity and well-being. But however, I want to add another point, which is a healthy lifestyle habit. For this one, for me personally, I really suggest for a healthy lifestyle habit because it really release our stress. If we always think about our work, we will be stressed. And if we do a healthy lifestyle habit, for example, we go to the gym after work, and also we go. I mean, we can plan. The company can plan a pickleball event sometime. I mean, for releasing stress, because a healthy lifestyle, sports can release stress a lot compared to workload. Yes. So my point is, I agree with Vienna point, which is workload management, but also want to add some point, which is encourage healthy lifestyle habit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your insights. So as for me, actually, I don't really agree with PUVUNES because flexibility depends heavily on trust, and there's a risk that some individuals may misuse the flexibilities or responsibility given to them. So without a proper safeguard, flexibility could lead to an uneven workload, reduced accountability, and even resentment among colleagues. So as for me, I would definitely agree with the workload management. That's why I believe the workload management is a stronger foundation by ensuring tasks are distributed fairly, deadlines are realistic, and priorities are clear. And we also create a system that supports balance without relying solely on self-regulations. It directly addresses the root cause of burnout, which is excessive or poorly managed workloads. So perhaps we can consider workload management as the core solutions and then explore others like Najmudeen's idea. Um, what was that? Encouraging healthy lifestyle? What do you guys think?
In my opinion, I would like to project healthy wellness program, and because it increases mental health, but it does not create the balance between work life and private life. If you cure your mental health, does it solve the heavy workload that you are having right now? I don't think so. And about the which Azrina have said before, workload management, right? Okay, workload management is for me, I think it's about a job specification, which is division of labor, and employee is assigned to a specific task. That is division of labor. If let's say we have two kind of employees, employee A and employee B. Employee A, and I mean, each employee is assigned a task. Each employee is assigned to a specific task. And let's say if this employee A can do this task within 10 hours, and this specific employee, which is employee B, can do only can do a task for 5 hours. So this employee A is wasting his time here and does not create the productivity of the industry. So I don't think the workload management is the perfect solution. And besides that, I want to add a point for the workload management, which is the workload management is actually focuses on how good the manager is. If a manager is good in planning a task to achieve a task, the task can can be happen perfectly. But what if the boss is very messy? We must look into that perspective too. But if we look at flexibility, it's a win-win situation. Manager and employee can save many time, and it smoothens the task. So everyone, do you agree with my point that I state?
I think actually Punesh, your idea is good, but the planning is not important than the execution. The execution is more important than the planning. If let's say, if flexible means it's really hard to monitor the performance of the employees, because the manager will struggle to evaluate the output, and then it will happen the communication issues. Let's say because it will be less face-to-face interaction, right? So it will delay responses and slow teamwork. I think if what it will not solve the root cause, just solve the temporary problem. So
Yes, actually, I do agree with Diana. Where sorry, I'm so
yes.
sorry. Actually, in my point of view, flexibility can be attractive to some employees and organization. However, I feel like since PUVUNES said that it's workload management is not the perfect solution. However, I do think that in this case there is no perfect solution. It is something that we can do step by step actually to overcome these solutions. So I think in this meeting, we should think perhaps one step at a time. Like what I mean here is that perhaps we can start with the workload management, and then when we see the everyone's starts to put a proper control in workload management, and then perhaps we can go to other solutions after that.
Actually, I really agree with Vienna, which is the workload management, because on my opinion, for the solution, flexible working arrangement, you are right, because the teamwork, we don't have the teamwork. Based on my experience, if we have flexible working hours, we don't talk to, I mean, the team doesn't talk to each other because they work on their own time. So if we go on with the workload management, I think I agree more to that solution. Yes.
Okay, but what if emergency hits? What if a task is in a big deadline? You can't just tell a client, sorry, my workload is full today. If their server is down, workload management falls apart when things get busy. It's a fair weather solution, but flexibility is designed for the storms. It says, okay, it's a busy week. You might have to work late tonight to fix this emergency, but you can take Friday afternoon to recover. It adapts to reality. Workload management tries to ignore reality. How do you guys think?
For me, it depends on the manager, because in order for for someone to be a manager, they are able to be a leader. So the leader, the manager, needs to be responsible for the task management, so that the task can be done correctly. If the manager depends on the staff, I mean, for flexible working hours, some staff cannot be trusted. That's what I mean. If we depends on the flexible working hours, but for workload management, if the manager is good, if the leader is good, and the task management is good, then the company would be good in solving any task, any works. Like you said just now, for the client, if we have problem with client, the manager, the leader will lead them correctly. That's on my opinion.
Yes,
That's what
I
I'm
do agree
trying
with
to
PUVUNES. Sorry.
actually, that's what I'm trying to say. Workload management, it relies 100% on your manager being good at their job. If your boss is disorganized, forgot to hire enough people, or is bad at saying no to clients, workload management fails immediately. It relies 100% on your manager. But flexible working, it protects you even if your boss is messy. It gives you the power to handle the chaos on your own terms, such as taking a break when you are stressed and finishing later, rather than waiting for your boss to fix the workload.
Actually, I agree with Najmuddin. I'd like to add at some point. If we can put the workload management as the main point, because we can implement the idea of workplace wellness and mental health program and flexibility under the workload management. We cannot use the flexibility as the main point, main solution, because it will give solution for the temporary, not for the long term. Because they say stress is the long term problem. So I think workload management is the main priority. We should prioritize the main idea as the main idea. So we can implement the wellness program and flexibility under the workload management.
Okay, actually, I do agree with Najmuddin and Vienna. I'm so sorry, Puvunes. I do appreciate your passion for flexible working arrangement, and it's clear that you see value in giving employees autonomy. However, I feel like majority of us believe workload management is more practical and reliable solution, as flexibility can be beneficial, but then without a strong workload structure, it risks uneven accountability and potential misuse of the responsibilities and trust
Right.
to the employees, actually. Well, in my point, workload management actually directly address the root cause of poor work-life balance, which is unfair or excessive distribution of tasks. So if we don't fix that first, flexibility may only mask the problem rather than solving it. So as for Puvunes, I feel like we can note that flexibility as a future considerations, but our recommendation today should focus on workload management as the core solutions. In that way, we will present a united and a realistic proposal to our problem.
Yeah, correct. And also the workers requires the strong self-discipline, because some workers will procrastinate without the supervision. So I think they also requires the strong self-discipline for the flexibility.
Yes, I do agree on that. So I guess for the sake of consensus, I would like us to finalize the workload management as our chosen solution.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree? And as for flexibility, it can be revisited later, but then our immediate priority is to ensure fairness and sustainability on how workload is distributed.
Yeah, I strongly agree that workload management can be the main point, because we can implement the idea of flexibility and the wellness program under the workload management. So how about Najmuddin, Ati, and Punish? Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I agree with the workload management too.
Yes, I totally agree with the workload management. Yes.
Like with the right
So I think
support,
we can
we can
finalize it.
yeah.
Yes, I agree too with what Azrina and Vinanda and Najmuddin have stated for workload management.
Okay, so thank you everyone for your thoughtful contributions today. We have carefully considered the different solutions to address poor work-life balance, and after weighing the strength and risk, our task force has reached the consensus. We recommend workload management as the most suitable solution. It directly tackles the root cause of imbalance by assuring tasks are distributed fairly, deadlines are realistic, and responsibilities are clear. This approach provides a structural foundation that supports employee well-being, prevent burnout, and strengthen accountability across organizations. While solutions such as flexibility and wellness program have merits, workload management are the most practical and enforceable path forward. It creates a condition under which those other initiatives can succeed. with this recommendation, we are confident that the organization can foster a healthier and more sustainable work culture. Thank you all for your collaboration and commitment. This meeting is now adjourned.